we all draw up our business plan at the end of each year. Our ambition, we have the highest ambition at that time. Our motivation is at its peak, right? And then lo and behold, a few months down the road, you find yourself falling off track. And so you either spend the rest of the year trying to course correct, spinning your wheels, right? Or you don't even know that you're not pacing to hit your goals. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what my system is for staying on track and course correcting when it makes sense to do so, and how I do it. So stay tuned, because if you are somebody who maybe you set a business plan for this year and you didn't quite hit that, and you don't know why, you don't know how to stay on track, this may be the video for you, and this may be helpful to you. I'm Eric. I'm a realtor here in Brazos Valley, Texas. I'm currently in the, aggressively building phase of my career. I went from being a part-time agent in 2023 and selling one home. I was a paramedic and a part-time agent. And then in 2024, in January 2024, I went all in, and in my first full year, full-time agent, I 10x'd that number. So I was closed on 10 homes in my second year, first full year in the business. Moving into my third year, 2025, I'm looking to double that. So the goal is 20 transactions in 2025. I'm here to provide a tremendous amount of value to you in the hopes that I can help you do what I've done in more and more in less time, specifically for new agents. Many agents struggle. And they struggle to stay track on lead gen, and they struggle to even begin lead gen to begin with, because it can be scary. Here's the good news. If you fall off track, it's your fault. Okay, and here's why that's good news. Being that it is your fault, that means you can fix it. You can't blame anybody else. You can't blame your brokerage. You can't blame the market. You can't blame anybody. If you fall off track, it's your fault, which is good, because you can fix it. If you blame somebody else, you put it off on somebody, that's you giving up and saying that you cannot fix it, which is simply not true. So with that being said, I'm going to show you my system for staying on pace for your goals. And it is my business plan audit, specifically the quarterly business plan audit. So let's get into it. All right, so to start this, you'll have to know 6 key metrics, 6 SOIs in your business, or performance indicating performance. What is it? What is it called? I'm drawing a blank. KPIs. I said SOI. KPIs in your business. So at the top, it's going to be units sold. You'll need to know that. You'll need to know listings taken. So this is for each quarter, by the way. This is the previous 90 days. So units sold. How many properties did you close in the previous 90 days? This will show your overall success. So we all have a units sold goal for the year with our business plan. So you bust that into 4, and then you have your quarterly units sold number that you need to hit to be on pace. Next is listings taken. How many listings did you secure? All right. Next, after that, is appointment set. How many face-to-face meetings did you have with potential buyers and sellers? For my business plan, it's all sellers. I work with, I'm very picky about what buyers I work with. So for me, that appointments met is listing appointments. How many appointments did you set? Not everything you set, you're going to go on. Sometimes you'll cancel, sometimes they'll cancel. It's about 50% is the industry average. Leads generated. Did you even generate enough leads to support the appointment set goal that you had for yourself? And then at the very bottom of that funnel is or top of the funnel, I guess, technically, but it's contacts made. So how many conversations, meaningful conversations, two-way conversations did you have with decision makers, hopefully sellers if you're trying to be a listing agent. All right, so once you know all those, it's pretty simple. Compare what you actually did, what your output was, or your input, if you prefer, to what your goals were. So if you did your business plan properly, you'd know over the course of the year I have to make X amount of contacts. Well, you divide that number by 4 and see if it's in line with what you did. So specifically contacts made. That's the biggest bottleneck in agents' business. They say they want to do X, Y, Z, and it'll call for them. Let's say they got to make 20 contacts a day to make it happen. And then you look at their numbers and they've made like 20 contacts for the whole week or worse, right? So what I like to do from there, because you're going to know if you're tracking your numbers, even your most basic numbers, you're not super into it, but you at least know your contact rate and you know how many closings you had, right? You can calculate your contact to closing ratio. So divide the number of closings you had by the number of contacts you made and multiply that by the number of closings you need for each quarter. And this is assuming that you're not pacing to hit your goals, right? So you multiply that by the number of closings you need for each quarter, and that is you divide that by by the total number of working days that you're going to work. So 60 working days per quarter, roughly, right? That'd be 240 for the year. So and then that'll give you your new contact per day goal, your contact per working day goal. So as an example, right? Let's see. So if you want to close, I remember where I was going with that. If you didn't track your numbers, or if you had no closings for the last 90 days, take your units closed goal, it's like your annual units closed goal, and make that your contact goal. So if the goal is 10 closings, 15 closings, or whatever, you make 10 or 15 contacts per day and put your head down and get to work for the next 90 days and do it for 6 days a week. If you didn't have any closings the last 90 days, work Saturdays. You need to. So the next step would be to execute. So you make the revisions. As you don't just put the business plan in October and never look at it again, and you just execute. You fall short. You put that in October, you make no changes all year long, and then you end up falling short. You have to execute for 90 days, audit your numbers, and then execute for another 90 days, audit your numbers again for the previous quarter. And if you do this, I promise you will have an easier, better time staying on track. Another pro tip, time block it. So for me, today is December 31st. I time blocked. Today was my business plan audit. And I made some changes. I went from having to do 7 contacts a day to 16 because I didn't quite hit my goal, or I'm not pacing for my goals for 2025. So what I do is I just put it on my Google Calendar. Last day of each quarter, every 3 months, the very last day at 1 p.m. is the business plan audit. And that is just about it. Another caveat, by the way, if you don't want to do contacts to closing ratio, if you want to say, hey, listen, I want to take X amount of listings and then the money will just come. Like if you're just want to stack listings and do it that way, that's another option. Just do contacts divided by listings taken and do it that way instead of closings. I hope this brought you a tremendous amount of value. I hope this helps. I know it's a lot of numbers, a lot of very analytical, but if we're not tracking our numbers, we're not running a business. So subscribe for more content like this. If you are curious what it may look like to partner together, click the link in my description. You can book a call on the calendar, and we'll have a conversation around it. And you can make a decision that's best for you and your career moving forward. Thanks, guys.